All right, 7:20 here, Big 550 KTRS. You heard Al Sharpton's coming to town. He's going to get a lot of attention, and he's going to suck all the oxygen out of the room this weekend. So we decided to get Tiffany on the show. Tiffany reached out to us. Tiffany, welcome to the Big 550 KTRS.
Good morning.
In terms of full disclosure, Tiffany is not your real name, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It is not.
Okay, and you started this Facebook page, I Support Officer Darren Wilson. How long ago did you start that page?
I started it the day that they released his name.
Okay, and you now have like 80,000 likes on that page, correct?
Close. I think we're at 77,200 when I checked it this morning.
Okay, what is it that you want people to know? Well, first of all, let's why did you start the page? What is it? What was it about them releasing the name that got you so riled up that you wanted to start this page and sort of start this cause?
Well, because I knew from what had happened the week before that there was going to be a lot of hatred towards Darren. There was going to be a lot of people, wanting to tear him down, and I thought, I need him to know that there are people here that do support you, and we support. We don't want you to get lost, and everybody hates me, and everybody thinks that I made this horrible decision, and I wanted him to know that we are here. We 100% support our officers.
Do you know Officer Wilson? Have you talked to him? Have you had any communication with him?
I have not had any communication with Darren, no.
Do you have any members of members in your family who are in law enforcement?
Yes, my husband's a law enforcement officer.
You've gotten death threats.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about some of the death threats you've gotten.
A lot of them are seemingly made up accounts from people. So I feel like they're very harmless, but with the way things are going, I think understanding that the possibility of a threat is there. Just different things like how I should be shot alongside my husband, that they will find me and they will find my children, that I had one person tell me I was in Troy, which was wrong, and that was that anonymous group. So I'm not really sure where they're getting their information.
So hold on a second. Anonymous, which claims to be hacking geniuses that go after police officers, they claimed you were in Troy, and that was completely wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
How are they getting these death threats to you?
Through the page, the email that I set up. I've had a few through there, and then also through the page you can message our page.
Gotcha.
And we've received them through there.
Now, are you affiliated in any way with the group that also supports Darren Wilson, who we have covered as media for fundraisers? Are you a part of that group?
No, I'm a different group. That was, I believe, we support Officer Wilson. I can't remember what the name of their page was. I started my page as I Support Officer Wilson, and then a couple days later that page came along, and they've been big on the rallies and this and that there in the area.
Yeah. Do you think Officer Wilson's innocent totally of any wrongdoing?
Well, obviously I don't know because I don't know the exact how everything went down and how everything happened because I wasn't there. I've read things. I've tried to educate myself on both sides of the story. I believe that Officer Wilson absolutely feared for his life and did what he had to do to come home. And that's the bottom line as a police officer. You do what you have to do to come home to your family.
Will you be shocked? Will you be upset? Will you be angered? Will you protest if the grand jury comes back and somehow indicts him on some type of charge?
Well, now here's the deal with the indictment, though. An indictment doesn't necessarily mean that he's guilty. An indictment means let's go to trial.
Mm-hmm. An indictment means there's enough evidence to charge him.
I'm sorry?
An indictment means there's enough evidence to charge him with a crime.
Sure, but that doesn't mean he's guilty of anything.
You're right.
So no, I won't. We're not. We aren't the protesters that are going to be loud and threaten people and this and that. Yes, we will still make our voices very much heard. We will hopefully still be able to hold our rallies and still support him. But an indictment to me isn't going to get me all fired up. It will upset me. Of course it will upset me. But that doesn't automatically mean guilt. So I think that would have to be the next step of what will happen when that happens, or if that happens.
Right, but you're insinuating that, I mean, should he be indicted, Tiffany?
Absolutely not.
So you do have an opinion on this. I mean, you're not necessarily waiting for all the facts.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an opinion on it. Me personally, as a police officer's wife, I have the opinion on it.
Yeah.
I've tried to direct everybody on the page to, let's just calm down. Remember, the media is the same people who have been reporting from the beginning how this has been this way or that way, and they try to rile everybody up. So just remember, when you're reading these stories, we live in an instant, I think how I said it was, we live in an instant information world. We do not live in an instant truth world. So just hold back and let's kind of keep it calm until there's a reason not to be calm.
One of the reasons you reached out to us was we had a St. Louis blogger on the show last week, and we got into a heated discussion. I got into a heated discussion with her. She wanted to interview you, correct?
Yes.
And what happened with that interview?
We did. She emailed me some questions, and I emailed my responses to her. I will say she didn't misquote anything, but she misled me. She acted like she was going to write a story about the supporters of Darren and supporters of law enforcement, like it was going to be this positive outcome. And then when the story came out, it was written with somebody else, and had I known that was going to be the co-writer of the story, I absolutely wouldn't have done the interview. And I think she knew that, and I told her that. I said, I think I wouldn't have done the interview because I don't agree with his beliefs, and I don't agree with the things he's been doing and threatening and the information he's wanting on Officer Wilson. And she apologized. She said that wasn't her intention, but I don't believe it.
So in other words, you think she hoodwinked you or lied to you or sort of skewed what she was actually trying to do to get a couple of quotes from you?
Absolutely.
She was not forthcoming?
No, not at all.
Interesting.
Tiffany, is your husband a Ferguson police officer?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Does he work anywhere within that area? I'm just curious on how he, as a police officer, is dealing with the tensions and how he is now being treated as an officer.
I can't speak fully for him. Obviously, we've had lots of conversations about things. He's not acting any differently at work. He goes to work. He does what he's trained to do. He's not letting the aspect of, oh gosh, will I be in trouble if I do this? That's not it. He's policing the same way he was policing before it all happened. I believe he's noticed more people putting their hands up when he drives by, and saying, don't shoot, and things like that. But for the most part, I think, he goes to work the same way he did before it all happened, and he'll continue to go to work because it's not going to skew how he does his work.
The Facebook page, again, is what?
I support Officer Wilson.
And you're having rallies and Facebook conversations. How do people support you? How do people get a message to you?
You can go to the page and send me one directly from you. It says message. You just send a message, and I'm the first one that gets it.
Tiffany, which is not your real name, what do you want people to know about? What do you want people to understand about being a wife of a police officer in St. Louis at this time?
I wish people would just understand that this is not a job where our husbands just go to work and they sit behind a desk and they work all day. Our husbands leave every day with a bulletproof vest on and a gun on their hip. And that is a little different than going to sit at the desk all day. For the first time in the 6 years I've been with my husband, I am a little bit more cautious when he leaves. But I know if anything was to ever happen to him, God forbid, that he did everything he could in his training and his knowledge and his experience to come home to me. And that will make me feel okay. I think people need to understand that threatening me does nothing for you. threatening me as a wife. There's nothing for you.
Would you? Do you wish he would stop being a police officer?
No. He's no. I would never ask him to do that. Mm-mm. He's very passionate about it, and he enjoys his job, and that's what he was. That's all he knows. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's always wanted to do. So no, I would never ask him to stop.
Tiffany, thank you for your time. The website again, or the Facebook page is what?
I support Officer Wilson.
I support Officer Wilson. There are many Facebook pages out there. You're not affiliated with any of them. You're not looking to raise any money. You just hold support rallies and sort of disseminate information on that webpage. So
True.
That's what that is. Tiffany, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you all for your time.
Tiffany.
I appreciate it.
731, Big 550.